Well, it started with the idea of knitting the fabric of this part of London to its surroundings. It became really important to find ways to thread the natural routes of people moving through the city, through the heart of Chelsea Barracks, and through the squares that we were creating. One thread that was really important was the idea of London's lost rivers. If one arrives at Whistler Square, you follow a stream, a sculptural line which represents the Westbourne River that once existed on the site. We really wanted to create a feature that pulled you into the heart of Chelsea Barracks. So water reflects the sky, reflects the buildings around it. It really becomes a sort of very animated element that pulls you into the scheme.
We've tried to draw out as many artistic inspirations for the elements within the landscape. And in the planting, it was almost another level because it is something that's living. So it changes. It can change through the season, it even changes through the day sometimes. And what's wonderful about Mulberry Square is that the way we've laid out the individual flower beds is that you get this linear approach to each of the bands of planting. So these bands of planting each represent a different colour or texture.
We created a kinetic sculpture in plants. So at different times of year, certain perennials, vegetables, flowers pop up and create this constantly changing visual piece. It completely changes your relationship with the city that surrounds you. It becomes a very calm place, a place where you observe nature.
The Bournewalk landscape is one that connects the entire length of Chelsea Bridge Road.
It provides a corridor for nature, a place where you can put native plants that encourage wildlife within the context of the city, and creating a corridor that can link it to other places in London.
Garrison Square has been conceived as the sort of civic heart of the Chelsea Barracks development. It's this wonderful position adjacent to the original Garrison Chapel. And in our conception of the square as an urban space, a very hard space predominantly, for functions, for movement, for the spill out of the restaurant space, or the activation of the buildings that surround it, it had to give it a bit more than that. We felt it was really important to move from the quality of the sort of London streetscape and move into something that was slightly different and a warmer texture, a warmer colour, something that sort of held the visitor to the space. Of the many avenues of sort of design investigation, one quite special one was the development of a Chelsea Barracks rose. It's quite deep red, evocative of the uniforms, the sort of military that used to be on the site. There's aspects of it that do evoke and bring up aspects of the past.
We felt it was really important to allow public through the whole development and actually be able to sort of be amongst the plants and gardens of the squares that they were moving through. So I think that was really the chief attraction to us being able to sort of create a very different character to the traditional idea of a garden square and move it on into something that really represents the 21st century.